clock hits it. The game is on. It's got a lot of carry in it. It takes it to the goal line. It's Reggie Bush coming back. Did not get to the 15-yard line. They move it around with Reggie Bush settling as the deep back out of the formation on the first snap of the ball game, and it goes to Bush working into the middle. The second snap of the ball game on 2nd down and 7. Reggie Bush bounces to the outside. He's got the first down. He breaks free again. And finally 3-4 Bruins bring him down as he gets up to the 44-yard line. Let's find out early on just how tender he might be, because he has had a shoulder effective blitzer. They stay with the ground game. Ball goes to Reggie Bush, who's back into the ball game, and they found out. He gets it. They stacked it, but the stunt didn't hold him. Well, they've had their question answered quite well here early in the going, as White is very active in the early going. Dominique Byrd, the tight end's in motion, goes to Bush behind Byrd, finds a little bit of daylight. McNeil has come into the defensive secondary now. He's almost in a linebacker position. And here goes Matt Leinart back to throw for the first time. He's going deep down the sidelines. The pass is thrown out of bounds. Leinart this time goes on the quarterback sneak. Leinart looking to throw again. Gets it away, and it goes sailing away. All on the 35 of UCLA, 34 of UCLA. Bush with it, bouncing to the outside, can't get there. Oh, yes, he can. My goodness. Played at this speed, you won't have time to think about it. This is Bush again, getting the first down, going inside the 20. Leinart looking around, goes for the corner of the end zone, and it's just over the head of Jarrett, covered by Cassell, and a pretty good job by Marcus. Jarrett had position, but as Dan said, the ball is sailing. The wind is gusting. Leinart back pumps it, now throws to the sidelines again. It is 3rd and 10. They flush him. Now he throws it. Incomplete. Kind of an angle across, but it's a strong gusting wind. Snap is high, kick is away, and good. Let's see if he kicks it all the way across the field. Well, he pops it up on the other side of the field. He's not giving Maurice Drew a chance to handle it. It's Kahil Bell, the freshman out of San Anselmo, California. Chris Marquis goes into the slot over there, and Maurice Drew drops into the single back spot. The ball is thrown. It goes off the hand. Olsen gives to Drew, and Maurice Drew is. And now it is 3rd down and 7 for UCLA. Ball thrown very quickly to Mercedes Lewis. He hunkers down behind Chai, Cleary, and Tavaga. Nope, they hand it away, and it's Drew popping free. Maurice Drew down to the 40-yard line at first down Bruins.
4th and inches.
Khalil Bell is in the ball game now. They think he's going to be a pistol too, boy. He's pretty good. The ball is thrown off the hands of the fullback, Michael Pitre. Marquis is the deep back. Now he shuffles out of there, and Bell comes in to replace him as the deep back. And they give it to Bell. And Bell getting baptized pretty well as he comes to the line of scrimmage. Very little gain on the play, just inside the 40 to the 39. Maurice Drew is back now as the deep back for UCLA. They're looking at 3rd down and 9. Ball is thrown underneath, and Marquis coming across. Aaron Perez is the punter. His average on the season is right at 40 yards. That's going to go in. Wynn's going to carry that way back. This is starting a series. Reggie Bush is the deep back, and he's got the ball, working his way through the traffic. There he goes. I mean, he runs over folks, and it's finally London who brings him down. Leinart changing his play, still working into the wind here in the first quarter. USC leading 3-0. Ball thrown to Dominique Byrd, the tight end. Leinart fakes it, keeps it, shakes a tackler, lets it go to the sidelines. Short pass. Leinart drops it off to Kirkman coming out of the backfield, and that'll be a first down.
Anybody, neither one of them.
First down and 10 for USC. Leinart again looking to throw the ball. Goes to Bush, and Reggie didn't look it into his hands, and it skitters right off of his thumbs, and it's incomplete. It wasn't. Bruins covered him. This time Bush gets it, holds on the right side, and he's down to the 20. Down to the 18-yard line where Cassell helps out on the tackle. Ball's on the 18 of UCLA. They've been here before. Bush with it, working again in traffic inside the 10. And he's close to another first down. It's first and goal, Trojans from the Bruin 8. Pass, touchdown, Jarrett. Mario Dinello. Extra point, good. 10-0 Trojans. Bruins are getting themselves into the hole here if they're not careful. Van Blarcom didn't kick it deep to Drew the last time, and he won't this time either. It's a short high pop to the right side, bounces softly. They have to cover it because the Trojans were all over it.
And he has all this wind behind him.
Olsen fakes it to Drew, and Drew Olsen delivers it short to the tight end, Mercedes Lewis, and he'll go to midfield on a first down for the Bruins as they started on the 32, pick up 18 yards on that play. Olsen back, throws short. Maurice Drew with it. Boy, he runs in traffic well. They go to the run, and Bell will get down to the 30. They're going to throw. Olsen tackle. Penalty flag goes down.
This is about as far as they got in their last series of plays.
Pressure coming. Didn't get it away. Sacked on the 40. Aaron Perez hit it in the end zone the last time. He's going to do the same thing this time. Is he or is he? Oh, that ball is, oh my goodness. It's Lindale White. He'll be coming out of the end zone. If he gets the ball, he won't get it. Leinart's going to throw the pass to the sidelines, and the wind blew it up probably with the last play of the first quarter. They run it. It's Bush. And Reggie gets to the 5. They have the wind at their back now after battling it through that first period, and the wind's enough to have an impact. Penalty flags.
It looked like a false start on Sam Baker, left tackle for the Trojans.
After the penalty, it is 3rd and 10. And Bush going to the outside. He got away from him. He's going down the sidelines. It is one man to beat. Now he gets a little help. Now the pursuit comes after him, and they'll bring him down. But my word, he's put that football down near the 32-yard line. 32-yard line. He's got 172 yards, and we just started the second quarter. And there's another pass that is thrown high. Steve Smith going down the middle of the field against Dennis Keys. Had possession, ball. He couldn't reach it. In traffic. We'll take the ball for 5, maybe 6.
That's a Harris poll where you could have a top 20.
That's a pretty good bite. Try to get all of that in between plays.
Well, when he gives you, here it is 3rd and 5, you would expect a pass play as we expected on 3rd and 10. But with Bush in the backfield, you never know.
He's got it again. He's got the first down. And he's inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Lindale White now in at tailback as Reggie goes out to get a little rest. To the end zone, off the hands. That's high again. Whitney Lewis is in the ball game now, number 4 in the red. This is Lindale White up the middle, touchdown number 21.
Bruins end zone, and White put it in the Trojan end zone.
It's good. Troy Van Pluckham will kick it off for US. Same thing, high pop to the right side. They're keeping it away from Maurice Drew as best they can. Khalil Bell fumbles the ball. Trojans have it. Josh Pinker comes up with it. And the Bruins turn it over. And the backfield is empty for Matt Leinart. Throws this one and completes it. It's a short pass with some snap on it to David Kirkman out of the backfield and Spencer Hayden. Second down 4. Leinart still got it. Little short pass dumped off to the tight end. Dominique Byrd. Penalty flag goes down as Byrd will have the yardage for a first down. But let's see about the flag.
I think they're going to get Chris McFoy for blocking down the field when that ball was in the air.
Leinart continuing to throw. Throws it. I mean, that was right on his hands. Defended against Jarrett. The ball looked to me like it was right there, but Cassell may have got a hand in front of him to punch it away.
I think Dwayne Jarrett might have short-armed this one. Looked like he got those alligator arms. Yeah, he didn't reach out for the ball.
Yep.
Waited for it to come into his body, and just that instant was enough to cause that incompletion. That's a drop pass by Dwayne Jarrett. The Trojan passing game is struggling today, and yet they're still up by 17.
He hit second down and 10. All of 27, 26. This is the big guy, Lendale White, searching his way down to the 15 for a first down. Matua pulled out and led him.
Yeah, great timing between Matua and Lendale White. Matua's the right guard. He's going to pull around the center. And behind him will come number 21. Good job by Byrd on the outside, but just overpowering Christian Taylor is Fred Matua.
And if the news can get any worse for the Bruins, Bush is back. And he's got it. And they're going to run a reverse. Jarrett going to throw the ball for the quarterback Leinart at the 5. He's right near the marker to make it a first and goal.
Well, they pulled this one out of Norm Chow's playbook. Remember Matt Leinart in the Rose Bowl a couple of years ago caught a touchdown pass from Mike Williams on this exact same play. The pitch to Bush, the lateral to Jarrett, and then the left-handed toss. Even Mike Williams was left-handed. Results a little bit different as Leinart gets the first down and not the touchdown.
First and goal at the 4. And White, who just scored his 21st touchdown a few minutes ago, is back in there in the deep spot. Leinart falls down. Tripped as he faked the ball and fell down for a loss. Could be because his passes, so many of them have been, most of them have been high. This is Reggie Bush to the corner, dive, and he's remarkable. It's good. Sitting to my right said the Bruins are going to run where they want them.
Well, they have had a few comebacks this year. They're going to need another one.
Ball popped up to the right side, and the return's a pretty good one by Chris Marquis. And he's not a guy that to be not paying attention to. So the ball is now on the 47 of UCLA, their side of the field, and they're down by 24. Maurice Drew, fake by Drew Olson, ball thrown high. He threw one into the wind, and it was high, so that wind must be pretty strong.
Yeah, he was signaling, though, to Moya that he should have kept on running. It looked like Moya was choking his motor, settling down, and it's not what that quarterback wanted.
He yelling at him, too.
Yeah, well, when you're a senior, you can yell at freshmen. You can see all that space in front of Moya. If he caught the ball, if he stayed on his route instead of slowing down. Now Moya's going to get yelled at some more on the sidelines.
Second down and 10. Drew Olson has it. Throws it. Caught. Complete to Andrew Baumgartner. Baumgartner was a fellow we saw back early on in the season practicing one day, and we thought he looked pretty good. Go to the Rose Bowl to play Oklahoma, and he had a huge day.
Yeah, caught a touchdown pass against the Sooners, and that was a big catch for UCLA's psyche right now. Olson willed that ball into Baumgartner, threw a high, hard one, and Baumgartner came down with it.
Drew and Marquis in the backfield. Drew. And they twist him down, but it's not easy. 2nd and 8. Pitch it to Drew. Whoop, nothing doing. Boy, they knocked that block. Cowan and Everett are on this side of the field. Marcus Everett, who's played very well. And they try to go inside on that screen. He's really going to have to nail it to get it there. And he did nail it. And he got it there. And he made it. USC with the lead on UCLA, and we've got 8:09 to go in the first half of play, and Reggie Bush is waiting, and he's waiting, and the ball is fielded. Leinart throws high, incomplete. Bush caught behind the line of scrimmage and taken down. Leinart going to try to use that arm again. Throws this one. The ball's caught. First down. There's a little short, sharp shot. Bruins jumping around trying to fill the holes. And Leinart looking to throw it. Wants to go deep, does. And again, the ball is high and wide. 3rd down and a long 2. Runs for it. Reggie Bush is the deep back. Having a day of days, and Leinart can't come off the snap with the ball, and he fumbled it, and it's recovered by UCLA. Maurice Drew is their deep back, with Drew Olson dropping back to throw. Passes away, and it is caught. It is caught for a first down at the 33-yard line by Marcus Everett. Ball is handed off. Passed away this season. Into the traffic again, and there's not much there this time. The Trojans just stacked it. 3rd down and 3. Ball is up in the air, and incomplete. Hit the ground. Snap, hold, both good. Headlocks kick, good. Maybe Michigan and Ohio State and some of those guys, but from out here, that's pretty good stuff. The kickoff by Medlock goes to Darnell Bing, who gets a chance to return it, and the big guy rumbles right along, and especially that fellow who's having a hard time today, Leinart. He's back in there, hands to Bush, and Bush will
just being beaten up front by this massive offensive line and extraordinary running back.
Well, they have really, the offensive line has controlled the ball game. Here's Bush, with just like Will-o'-the-wisp. He's like a shadow near the 45-yard line on the SC side of the field. They're leading 24-3, and look at Lindale rumble along. He's had a big day, scored 2 touchdowns, and he's a couple of yards short of the first down. Well, this is Lindale White, a fellow from Colorado. And he's having a fair-sized day himself. White again. He almost lost his balance and fell as well. And that's a powerful offensive front they've got there. This is Reggie Bush, touchdown.
At some point here, he's going to have to strike the pose, don't you think, Keith?
No, he's got too much class and dignity to do that.
Yeah, but he still has a lot of fun and little boy in him.
Yes, he does.
Came out of San Diego, County, La Mesa's Helix High, and he is just continuing to amaze on every play.
18 carries, 228 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and we've got a minute and a half to play in the first half. Penalty flag is thrown as Danilo kicks the extra point with 1:33 to play in the first half here at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. And that's still not kicking it, Maurice Drew. He comes up, however, takes it on the bounce and almost had a hole. Almost.
He wins on style points. Vince Young has a lot of style as well, Texas quarterback. But what Reggie Bush has done the last 2 games, or last game and a half, it's just phenomenal.
Reggie Bush scoring on a 10-yard run.
The penalty on the Bruins. Marquis was called for the foul. And so they start from the 18-yard line. Drew Olson hooks his pass off the hands of Mercedes Lewis. The Bruin defense is not letting UCLA have that short stuff.
Now, what they've done is they've been able to get pressure on Olson a couple of times, knocked him down a couple of times, and he's really out of rhythm right now. The last 2 passes he's tried to squeeze into Mercedes Lewis have been off target and have fallen incomplete because of this pass rush.
Maurice Drew going to find his way to about the 27, but he's got to go to the 28 to get his first down. It'll be 3rd and 1. Run for it. Get it. Take it across the 40.
And Maurice Drew.
Out to the 41 for the first down.
Ryan King with a tackle.
Drew is a fun runner to watch, isn't he?
Yep.
He's only 5'8", weighs well over 200 pounds, but has surprising speed as he got around that corner with ease that time.
He's very smooth. His head doesn't bounce up and down very much at all. He's very smooth. Olson's pass to the sidelines. Well thrown, well caught. Inside the 45 by Marcus Everett.
Not sure why the clock continued to run off 3 seconds there. It was out of bounds. It also picked up the first down. The Bruins lost valuable seconds.
Ball is on the 44-yard line. Kotaya caught it, or one of the officials saw it.
Add a few more seconds to the clock.
He wants 3 seconds.
47 seconds.
47 seconds, he said. It's sitting on 42 right now. Maybe they can't roll it back.
Well, I can do it right there. How's that?
Okay, do that. Now we got it. We could have a new career.
Yeah, give me a crayon. I'll go crazy.
Drew Olson's going to get hammered. And he does by Lawrence Jackson. The ball came out. But they keep it.
With the sack.
Jackson just came free and clear. And coming from his back, Olson had no chance. 36 seconds remaining in the first half. Bush comparison in the ball game to this point. And Drew hasn't had the opportunities Reggie's had. Not as many. And the field position's been different. But it's just been an overwhelming performance by Reggie Bush.
Yeah,
mind-boggling.
Carl Durrell and his staff, they've got to be shocked right now. They felt so prepared coming into this game, having 20 days since their last game. They are just being outplayed everywhere.
The offensive line and Bush. Those are the 2 elements, and the defense is rising up now, and here's a ball thrown down the sidelines, and it is incomplete. Pretty good play by John Walker against Marcus Everett. Ball's a little longer. Everett's got a chance to go with it.
John Walker, who has missed a lot of time with a bad ankle, running right with number 9 Everett. And that ball, as you said, Keith, if it's thrown maybe 2 feet farther, Everett might have himself a touchdown.
Third down and 15. Drew Olson lets it go hard and off the hand.
John Walker and Scott Ware on the coverage.
Ball should have been caught by Everett.
15 yards to go.
Was thrown hard, but it was a catchable ball in traffic. It's going to set up another punt. And Reggie may get a shot at returning this one.
Back for USC.
At 24 seconds to go in the first half, Perez gets it away. It's a low one. Caught. Gets back to the 5, and that's pretty good coverage by the Bruins. They've got him at about the 7th, and 15 ticks remaining on the clock. Rodney Van, who he's a burner. He got downfield in a hurry.
With the tackle for the Bruins.
DB, and made the tackle.
52 yards on the front. First and 10.
This is what Reggie Bush has done in the last 6 quarters. I'm not sure what adjective you use after you see a stat like that.
Well, if you're one of the coaches in his future, you swallow hard. He's a handful. Let's call it the 8-yard line. They'll take a knee and run out the clock and go to the clubhouse with a 31-6 lead, and the USC is going to go up the tunnel first. And today's game being televised on ABC High Definition, where available as Drew Olson. Little play action, gets the pass away, thrown into traffic. He had 1 receiver and 4 Trojans from the 35-yard line. Second down and 10 for the Bruins, down 31-6 in the ball game. Here is the pass completed to Marcus Everett, Mercedes Lewis is 19 to this side. He is yet to see the ball today. I mean, Drew Olson just hadn't had any time to go shopping at all. Again, he's in trouble. Again, he's fumbled the football. The Trojans look like they have it. And they do.
Well, the Bruins are confused as to who they want to have guard him, and now they're going to have to call a timeout.
Little quick flip out to the right side to Steve Smith, looking to get him one-on-one, but Leinart going back to throw, has protection. Pressure gets to him as he unloads it good. Leinart back. Lets it go, and it is not good.
15-yard face mask.
By rule.
First and 25.
That'll make it first down and 25 now for the Trojans. They lead 31-6, and we're getting this third quarter off to kind of a slow start. McFoy and Smith are the wideouts. And it's Bush getting the ball. Goes to the left side, and he looked for a moment he might have something. Leinart drops it off short to Dominique Bird, a very athletic tight end. Little drop off to Kirkman coming out of the backfield, and the fullback doesn't quit easy. Jarrett will go to the top of the picture. Bird drops off in an H-back posture over here on this side. Bruins show blitz, can't get there in time. The ball is thrown, and it is incomplete. Holding on to that big halftime lead of 31-6. Now let's see if Drew Olson can crank up on the second possession. The ball is thrown to Chris Marquis, and Marquis turns in a pretty good sized play. Beat through the fullback. Maurice Drew, the tailback. Roselle is the man in motion. Drew Olson throwing. Pass is away. Drew Olson's pass thrown sharply over the middle and caught by Joe Cowan. They're going to throw this on 3rd and 10, obviously. Drew Olson hit in the backfield, takes off, and he's short of the first down. Reggie is waiting. No chance. That ball was kicked out of bounds. And they've got double wide up there at the top. And Leinart fakes to Bush, drops to Bird. Bird is dropped by Jared Pate. The ball is thrown behind. Fact remains he has never been under 50% in the passing percentage for a game at USC. There's one drilled, and that's good for a first down. Goes to Steve Smith. So the first down is up at the 38-yard line. Leinart still got it. Got a man on a fly. And he goes short to Jarrett. All day. That's a sack. He's got it. They roll him up at the original line of scrimmage. Leinart, three-step drop, throws. Ball looked like it might have rolled out. He can run for it. He got it. Bush bouncing outside. They knock him out of bounds at the 15. Taking the time into the backfield. Leinart wants to throw it. Does. Down the middle he goes with it. Completes it to Fred Davis. Davis is in the end zone. Touchdown. Danilo for the extra point. Got it. And Van Blarkum will kick it away for the Trojans. It's a scribber on the ground, rolling around. Bruins pick it up, and they'll have possession of the ball up across the. Pretty good. Be able to do much yet. This is Maurice Drew. Fumble, kicked out of the air by Justin Wyatt. He will score. Ray Malaluga. Kick is good.
This one looked like it was almost an onside kick.
Yeah. Well, he scooped this one through a hole, goes down the field, and the Bruins cover it at the 34-yard line. And there Khalil Bell is in the ball game, and the ball is thrown low by Drew Olson, but looked like it was caught at the 36-yard line, and Marcus Everett made the catch. They sack him short of the line of scrimmage. Cedric Ellis leading the charge, but we went through 2 weeks of how about them dogs? Olsen got it away, but the ball was dropped by Bell, and Cedric Ellis dropped Drew. That's a pretty good punt, too, and there's no return on it. Reggie Bush couldn't get to it. And it won't take him very much to get to 300 today. Finds a hole over the left side. That's a first down. Reggie had 513 all-purpose in the President's State. Going deep. Second down and 10. Lendale White is deep in the backfield. Here comes. Oh, my goodness. Christian Taylor got him by the hind leg. Otherwise, he might still be running. Working behind him. That pass is thrown complete to Steve Smith, and Smith's at midfield. First down. Leinert's got him.
Have a chance to do something, to keep us on track, to do something that people haven't known before.
Well, you don't really see history until you've done it. Till it's over, it's fumbled and picked up by the Bruins, and it's incomplete forward pass. Bruins show blitz. I got there a little soon, but no flag. Now Matt Leinart throws it away. The punter. He's yet to punt today for the Trojans. Leinart's pass is thrown over there to Dominique Bird. They're going. That's Lindale White. Leinart back to throw it again. He's past the 50%. He's been running around for about 12 seconds. Now he finally finds White wide open, and Lindale dives for the goal line and touchdown. We'll go for the point. And he's got it. And Tom Malone's hold.
Lindale and Pete Carroll.
There's that skittering kick again. Bounces off of Bruin, and two of them go over there and cover it. Now the sun is gone. It's going to get crisp. But you know what? Not many people have left the ballpark. They're having a good time.
The Bruins section. And I think they got to be a little bit surprised at how poorly their offense has played. But you got to give credit to Pete Carroll and his schemes. Yeah, they're still counting all the guys on the sidelines who got in for free.
That ball came out. That'll be an incomplete forward pass. So the hard hit by Mauluga. It is 3rd and 10. Drew Olson gets it off. Nobody home. Punt of the day. Into the wind. But it's a good one. And again, Reggie Bush can't get to it. Ball hits and rolls straight sideways. Trojans back to the attack. This is Lindale White. He trucks along up to about the 22-yard line. Picks up 6 yards on.
Marcus Allen, Keith.
He's a good one. Was a good one playing and a good man. Here's the ball thrown sharply to Dominique Bird. Bird is going to pound along and first down, Trojans from the 41-yard line. This is the top award, individual award, they say, in college football, and it should be more than just your playing ability. You need the kind of person you are, and
that'll do.
That'll do, yes. In the air, Smith by himself, too long.
In about a month, right?
Yep. And you wonder when you have that. Here goes Lindale White again. Wow. He's 21 out of 40. And the ball is handed to Lindale White. Part of an interview that I did with Matt when he talked about the day and the emotions. Booty, big guy, he throws underhanded. Here goes Lindale, touchdown. That's a new record. Breaks Charles White's record. That's 54 career touchdowns for Lindale White, and he's got a year to go. Kick's good. High kick, Chris Markey, UCLA, first down at their own 38-yard line. Drew Olson stays in there, quarterback. And tempers are getting a little short.
Great comeback wins, but this SC team is focused, determined today.
Olson's pass thrown down into the middle to Joe Cowan. That works. That's good for a first down, and it goes over to the SC 48 with 3 touchdowns today. Khalil Bell is in the backfield, and Olson is again. What happens? It's a problem for the coaches. They really have to work hard and are headed for the BCS championship game that they have not made up their mind yet. I believe that. Drew Olson trying to get the ball to Chris Markey coming into that crossing pattern again. They've stayed with it quite a bit today, and it hasn't worked. I don't know about that. Sometimes I wonder if that's quite the right thing, and sometimes guys balk and sit out a year and just won't do it. In case that Lindale White could not play today.
3-year career here at SC. I'm sorry, that's just this year alone, 1658.
I would say this to our technicians, our engineering, and our cameramen, and all of those who do all the hard work. The ladies and gentlemen, it's just inside 7 minutes to go in a game that is literally over. We're just playing out the clock and seasoning young folks for. Oh, there's an interception thrown by Booty. Rodney Mann stepped in front of the receiver and picked it off. And the Bruins will take over. They have revealed is precisely on the nose, 92,000.
What are the odds of that? 92,000 to 1?
Pass is completed to Cowan. Cowan, second down. Yard and a half. Maurice Drew cuts it back into the stack. Bowled over. No chance at all. As a senior, he's graduating. So is Frosty Rucker. Lawrence Jackson talking about coming out. He's eligible, even though he's only a sophomore. 38 and Ryan 39. Playing in the defensive secondary for USC. Drew Olson off play action. Throws down the middle. It is incomplete. Drew Olson slides away from the pressure. Now he's got to run it. Going to get his first down.
Just kind of leaning to go to the NFL. You know, I mean, he has proven that. He has proven enough playing college football. I think it's time to go to the next level.
All along, he's always wanted to be a Trojan.
Actually, it was a choice that Lamar made here. They weren't even one of his choices, actually. And so Lamar talked him into coming up here to see what they had to offer him, check it out, and see if he'd like their program. And he did, and it worked out for him, and we're here.
So the USC Nation can thank his dad Lamar for this.
Right.
Get great kick returns he had in receiving and rushing. That was a great year.
Justin Medlock is in for the extra point try. Justin's a junior, so I'm presuming he'll be back. He's good.
The kickoff for UCLA.
And an onside here, taken by the Trojans on the run. It is John Walker, just short.
But SC will respond after their opponents score. Look at that bounce. Right to Walker. Didn't wait for the ball. Went after it. Attacked it. Got it. Great play, John Walker.
2-yard line. Kirkman is the tailback. He gets it. He scores. Danello's point. Ooh.
Every bounce goes SC's way.
It's that's a statement on the way the game's played now too. The game's different than it was some years ago. And that ball will be put down in the neighborhood of the 35-yard line.
And not a good sign for the Bruins when your cornerback is your leading tackler.
No. In recognition of their effort, this is Drew Olson. Drew Olson's a plucky fellow. He keeps the Trojans at bay. They just overwhelmed him. They got 6 guys up on that front and all of the loose ends tied up, which he's working on. He's going to be a heck of a football player.
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of Junior Seau with his
their game against Colorado for the Big 12 title. And those two
dousing twice.
Going to the end zone. Not good.
Podium where he'll be striking the pose real soon with that trophy.
Into the end zone. It's a touchdown for the extra point to make it 20. My goodness. Missed it.
Been that type of day for the Bruins.
66-19 then apparently will be your final score. As the Trojans, who are in control of the series, they lead by a substantial margin, have run up a big score. Very impressive outing. They were dominant from the get-go. They scored a field goal on their first possession, a touchdown on their second possession, both of them going from the 12-yard line and from the 20-yard line, and then they went 97 yards on another drive, and from then on it was downhill for them. 11 ticks remaining on the clock. If Todd Harris has got to go over there and talk to Pete Harris, those guys that missed with that bucket of water, they might come hunt them both up.
Yeah.
You have a raincoat?
I'm quick on my feet. I learned my lesson last year at the Rose Bowl with Mac Brown. Keep your eyes on a swivel.
Cold night to get wet.
I don't plan on it.
Yeah, well, here it comes. Here's bucket number 3 on its way. Here's Brendan Carroll, Pete's son.
He's like all the kids of today. They're bigger than their daddy, aren't they?
He's really big.
Yeah, he is. That'll go into the end zone. Trojans will down it there. No time going off the clock. So there's time, I guess, for one more play. They'll probably take a kneel down, and then everybody can go home. At 8:30 this morning, the public parking lots were full. The Southern California Trojans, when this play, the last 11 seconds are going. Here comes that bucket again. Yeah. I don't know.
They got Ken Norton that time, Keith.
Norton.
The former Bruin.
He's fit in very well on that coaching staff, hasn't he?
Pat Rule, I think they're all getting it, all the coaches. Todd McNair got some. They're running out of buckets, though.
This will be your final play of the ball game, I would imagine. It's Michael McDonald, Paul's boy, in for the last snap of the game. And the Southern California Trojans now have 34 straight wins and 7 straight over UCLA. The final score, USC 66, UCLA 19.